Demystifying the Mysterious, Our Changing World, and My Work. I'm going to explain all of those things because a lot of people are a little uncomfortable with what's happening in our world, and I'm going to talk about it and explain why I have been saying something different to all of you for a long time. And a lot of things that you may not have understood about me, so I thought I would just tell a whole story about it. First of all, I made a photo of all the writings that I have done since 1989 are the ones that I have in there. Every day, that's what I did. And you can see at some point I didn't have any more room in that file cabinet. So it was a choice of, do I get another file cabinet or do I do something different? No, I shift it because that's what we're all doing. We always shift and grow and evolve in our lives, every single person. Let me tell you, the first thing that I want you to understand, when I look at a client, what I know is that you are so incredibly valuable. You have something to offer the world, and you're in the world now because of what you have to offer. That's why the world looks the way that it does. It's waiting for each of us to acknowledge who we are, to own who we are, and put something different into the world. See, that's love. That's a lightness of energy of what we're doing. And I thought I have to do a little bit more because, again, we are a little afraid. And I also know that if I do my work, I want everyone to hear this one, if I do my work, we change the world. Every single person. I know that. And there's many other people who really understand this and who are doing the same type of work. There's a reason that you're finding more coaches and influencers and people of that nature talking about spirituality and all of that and how you have to embrace every aspect of you. There's a reason, and they're incredibly wealthy doing that. That's the world that we're moving into. But you may be uncomfortable. You may not have found that place, or you may think everything that's going on is terrible and the world is going to hell. And I've spoken to many people who think that that is what is happening due to the conditions, everything that we've been through in the last couple of years. But I know that's not happening, and I'm going to explain why. In 1988, I started doing something called automatic writing. Many of you might have known of that. I didn't tell anyone. I just kept it. But I'm changing my brain that entire time that I'm doing this. And I had to do that. See, because I had so many things that I had to move through in my life. I had so many tragedies, illnesses, accidents, failures. I mean, anything that you can imagine. And I thought there's got to be some help here. And why am I having all of these things happen to me? Like a lot of people, I felt maybe I'm cursed. Maybe I have something horrible that I did and I'm making up for it now. That was never the case. And I know that. But it was challenging and difficult while I was going through it, and I didn't want to live sometimes. But now I said, that's my mission. I need to help everyone else because, again, every single soul who is born has value and purpose to give to the world, and if they access it, they become these brilliant beings, and we start shifting our world. That's why I wanted to do my program. That's why I wanted more people in there. That's why I made it the price that it was, because just to encourage people to do it, because I knew what we would be moving through during this time. And we're not done. There's going to be more. There will at least another year. That's what I've said. Now, let me tell you again a little bit how I got here. When I first started doing automatic writing, it was uncomfortable for me. It was weird. And I know a lot of people think that what I put out sometimes is strange and weird. So I thought I'm going to break it down and tell you exactly how it happened. I read an article first about doing this automatic writing because I was desperate to find something that could help me. And when I read an article from a business guy in Newsweek or something like that, I thought, okay, if this is a business guy, it must not be too weird, it must not be too strange, and he's using it. And he said in his article that it helped him financially. It helped him change his life financially because he was going through a transition. And I thought, okay, I'm going to try this because that's where I was. I was moving from a different career into another one. So I said, let me try it. And as I sat there for a couple of days, nothing happened. Then one day, something started to happen, and it felt like something was coming through my hands and taking over and writing the words. It was weird, and I kept going with it. And because it was so strange, I didn't talk to many people. Friends and family knew a little bit, but for years, never put it out. Never put it out until about 2007. That's when someone discovered that I had been doing this, and they said, this really helps me. They found it on my desk at my office, and they said, this really helps me. Could you send them to me every day? Sure. And I started a little email list back then and just sent it to people. Then it started to grow. Then I wrote a book. I did a lot. Everything that I've created in my life has come through this process. Everything. And we all have that. You have it. You have intuition. You have a voice in your head that you could hear and master if you chose to do that. However, it takes time to do it. And that's what I had to move through and go through. But then there are also certain times when the world is changing that calls us to do that, and you may be feeling that now. The reason that you're feeling uncomfortable, the reason that you're maybe uncovering things that you put away in your life that you didn't finish, that you didn't complete, are showing up again. I've called it, and what came through with my Wilhelm, we're going through a restructuring, meaning you're going to be restructuring. If you want to really ascend or be the full person that you could be, the potential that is within you. So anyway, I went through and I'm showing you, I want you to see the photo that I took, because you'll see it's a lot of papers. Every day. You have to do something consistently to change who you are. Everything that we do is in our brains. Everything that we create is in our thinking, in our brains. And sometimes we come in with blockages, with restrictions, with stuff that we've been carrying for a long time, that we have to find something to move through that. And that's what I created. That's what I've done. And so you can see in the photo how much is there. And I had no more room. And so then I thought, do I get another file cabinet? No, and then it was very clear to me, no, you've moved to a place now, this is what I'm hearing, that I don't need to do that. So then I just started, I could sit in my computer and just type them. I can hear it very clearly. Many people who have worked with me know that that happens. I can hear it very clearly and put it down on paper. So then after that, about a year ago, I said, no, I've got to talk. I've got to start doing channeling sessions because I couldn't anymore even keep up with the writing. It was coming through so quickly. But more than that, I knew that I needed to be bigger. I needed to help more people. And if I were to channel it and give the information there, people would listen. Maybe they would understand. Not a lot of people have listened to the recordings, but I didn't listen to all of them either, so I understand. But last night I did. I listened to one from October of 2021, and I was like, oh wow, I was blown away, because it told me right there what I thought was my program was actually a book that I'm supposed to do, Your Life Operating Instructions, and that is something that will happen. Now, the 4 weeks to your best life, that's still a part of that, but I'm supposed to have a book there, but I didn't remember that, and that's why I made a post today, and I said I didn't hear myself correctly. Understand this, when I would write my messages every day, they were brilliant. It was my morning routine, and I feel better. I have shifted myself to a new level of my experience in my life every single day. And that's what happens. You have to do something consistently. And so, but then I didn't remember the specific message. I could receive the message in the morning, and you could talk to me 2 hours later and ask me what it was. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I would not remember. My friends all know this. This happens quite a bit with people like me who receive information. And so even in the live sessions, I didn't remember that. So when I was listening last night, I'm thinking, oh wow, that was surprising, because I had it a little backwards. I thought maybe I was supposed to do the Your Life Operating Instructions as a program, and I go, no, that's going to be my coaching, see, because that's the place where I take people to the deepest levels of who you are and to access the best that you have. That, because it's a little complicated, that information, all of it, and it's stuff that it's taken me, 40 years almost to compile it. That's what it is. And so then I want to work with people privately on that to get you to where you're meant to be in your life. It's very individual. None of us are supposed to do the same thing. You're a unique person, and you came with unique gifts. That may be why you have trouble finding it, maybe why you had difficulty even getting into the right career and all of that. So it doesn't matter where you are right now, there is still another place for you to go. And there's a way for you to get there if you're willing to just do the work and understand what's happening. You're being changed. You're being moved to a new place. Now, let me read you this. I wanted to This is something I received in 2018. First of all, I don't put, if you know me, if you've ever listened to me, you know I don't put out anything until I know that it's valid and I'm going to, that it's something of value that is going to produce a result for the client, whatever it is. I've always done that my entire life. So I received this in 2018. And it said, and this is true for everyone, you may not take it the way that I did, but it's absolutely true for every single person. You were being prepared. Attempt to hold that idea in your consciousness as you think about your life so far. When you approach it in this manner, the events, circumstances, and experiences you have had begin to make sense. This process, then, is far different than you judging yourself for what you have done or not done in your life, or thinking something has gone wrong. Nothing ever goes wrong. It is that you only come to understand this later. The reason you are being prepared is so that you would accept your greatness truly. That was the message. And it's true for every single person. We have greatness within us. We have genius. We have all of that. But we don't always access it. We don't allow it to come through. And then when we think things are so strange and mysterious and we don't understand it, we're never going to get there. And what is happening now is that our world is changing. This has gone on at different times in our civilizations. You would not know that. None of us have. But I have memories, as come out many times, where I can access that. But my only goal ever is to help you, client, understand who you are and own that. You see, if we all do that, we don't have any more wars. We don't have strife. We don't have any of that stuff. And what's going to go on, because we're not there yet, this is why I said it's going to take us another year, and that's why it's a great time to be working on yourself. That's why I had to do the program, because I knew people would need this, because it helps you. You come out changed. You're different, and that's what you want, because you start to own yourself. And the only difficulty we ever have in our lives when we experience something is because we have denied something within us, or we don't think it's real, and we have no value, and that's never true. So that is what I wanted you to understand. And when you look at the world, because it's going to be changing, understand that it's changing so that you would change yourself. All right, see you guys soon.